This is Mb14 from France, and we're breaking down the beat on BTV. My name is Mb14, I'm from France, I'm 22 years old, and I've been looping for 4 years now. I don't know how to exactly describe my style, but what I like to do is mix up instrument impressions, vocal stuff like harmonies, special sounds, things like this, mixed up with beatboxing, and I like to structure my loops really just like a song. My biggest influences, I think, in terms of beatboxing in general, I started with Naturally 7, which is a vocal band from New York, and that's by watching them that I really learned how to beatbox, to imitate instruments, to learn about harmonies, to loop.
One way for me to achieve some sounds is the fact that you can sequence some sounds and just pick a very short part of them. For example, when I use whistles like this, I can sample them and create a keyboard sound like this. And it sounds really pianistic, you know. I also like to use just vocal notes, you know, and then I put my track into loop sync off. So I totally dissociate the rhythmic part of this track with the other one's rhythm, you know. Like for example, I put it off, okay. And so I can improvise that. And I still can start my beat whenever I want. It has nothing to do with this rhythmic part, you know?
My favorite effect, I think, is reverb. That's the only one I really use. I don't use that many effects because I like to keep it really natural, except for the battles, because I've come to understand that in battles you can use as many weapons as you want to beat your opponent, you know? I like classical music and I love to make choirs and big resonant voices.
And I like to put a lot of reverb to make it very, very spaceful, you know? I like to make beats without reverb and then add several snares with reverb, for example. And then clap. It makes a very powerful snare, you know?
I think you should use reverb carefully, because there are some sounds that don't necessarily correspond to a lot of reverb, you know? Like for example, bass in general, you want it to be very thick, and you want to hear the details, and if it's lost into a whole lot of different sounds, it's hard to distinguish every sound perfectly. And that's also an advice I could give. It's just a personal taste, but I don't try to use effects that much when I'm creating my own music, just not to rely on effects, because I think the more you rely on effects, the less you try to push and experiment vocal sounds. And this is what I'm looking for when I'm looping, is to really push the boundaries of the human voice, like Tom Thumb would do, my mentor. Try to get inspired by a lot of styles. Don't stay focused on one style, I guess. Just listen to a lot of genres of music. Just be curious.